Hi, and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. Remember to like and subscribe down that way.
Under
that
you,
way?
Jen.
Under me. Under me. I get all turned around. I'm Jen.
I'm Haley.
Kathleen.
Amanda.
And yeah, this is only
I feel
our
like that's the beginning of the Mickey Mouse show.
I know.
And we'll burst into song.
Exactly. And I think this is only our second podcast where all of us are in the same room.
It feels
It
like
is.
so many weeks
Shocking.
ago.
It feels like.
I know. It's been a very long 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Long 2 weeks.
But don't let that stress you out. We're taking a lot of precautions.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
We are.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Yeah, this is the only place I go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ever.
me too. No one else.
Me too.
I was talking to someone the other day and like it's here's your risk budget and what do you choose to use your risk budget on?
Mhm.
And this is what I choose to use my risk budget on because otherwise I'm like I don't go to stores, I don't go to CVS, I don't
Yeah, I don't go anywhere.
Delivery is my friend. And I tip well because delivery is my friend. Because it's not everybody's friend.
Yep.
I have no idea what number this is. We were just
We're
talking about it.
pretty sure it's number 39. And like we said, it may be 39 forever. Because
I
that's
feel
a
like it's
thing.
been in the 30s for a while.
It has.
Mhm.
It has. I mean, at least for 10.
For 20 weeks.
Most of quarantine.
Yeah,
actually,
right?
No, not most of quarantine.
Oh, beyond quarantine.
It was like
quarantine,
28
yeah.
Yeah,
or something.
20 was
Yeah.
January.
Yes,
Right,
it was
20,
Right, because
2020.
we were talking 20
Yeah.
for
so
2020.
it was
Wow.
like
I was
Oh my
about,
God, remember January?
I was like, people, we've been quarantined for 35 weeks. You know how I know?
Yeah, how do you know, right?
Because it's been 35 weeks.
got a good calendar.
Amanda's our living, breathing calendar.
Yeah.
That's right.
I found out I was pregnant the Sunday after we shut the store.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Oh my
that's-
God, really?
that
Yeah.
weekend?
That
Wow.
weekend.
Wow.
Oh
It was
my
like
God.
because I came in on Saturday and I was here, and then we were closed on Sunday, and we didn't open up again until we were
Mhm.
moved here.
Right.
We got on
Wow.
Sunday. I was like, oh yeah, and I'm pregnant.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. So let's go to what's happening around town. We are filming this on Election Day.
In the morning.
In the morning. As
It's 10 a.m.
I don't know if you can hear the quaver in all of our voices.
Mm-hmm.
I hope future us are happy.
Same here. Same here.
Or at least not curled into the fetal position in the basement.
Yeah.
Which is
And I hope
honestly
future
my plan
you-
for today.
But right now we're full of optimism and hope.
I am.
And
I
coffee.
I
And
was.
coffee.
Well, it's funny. Last night I think I was kind of at my low point with all of this. You know, reading all the
Reading everything.
nasty
stuff.
things people were saying to each other and all sorts of things, and feeling like there were people I couldn't reason with, which was making me really sad.
That's really hard. It's
Um,
really hard.
especially when they're even not close family members, but extended family members, like who, whatever. So, but this morning actually, I saw a lot of encouraging things, and I am
Good.
feeling optimistic. And I think the fact that it's sunny and everything right now is.
Yeah,
It's a
considering we
sunny,
haven't had
beautiful
sun in like 4 weeks.
Well, last week was
It's
like rain every day. Last week
super
was
rainy
very
last week.
dreary.
Yeah.
But
Was that Delta? Zeta?
Zeta.
I think.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hit Z.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Z
Oh,
in the
No, but-
second alphabet.
In the
Yeah.
Greek
They went
alphabet, which
through-
is not Z.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
Omega.
Oh, yeah,
In the
yeah.
Greek alphabet, we
True.
still have
Yeah.
quite a bit of Greek letters to go through.
Okay, yeah, I thought
Alpha,
that's
beta,
what that
gamma,
was.
delta, epsilon, zeta. Oh, we've only got 6 letters
okay.
through the Greek
Okay.
alphabet, so only 6.
Can you tell that I went to a college that did not have fraternities or sororities? And I was like, I don't know anything
That
about
was
Greek
in
anything.
like
Mhm.
middle school. I used to write letters to my
Oh.
friends with Greek letters.
Oh my
Oh, how cute.
That's
Oh my
super
God.
nerd. It's not fraternities and sororities.
That's super
It's adorable. It's adorable.
That's adorable.
I love it.
That is the cutest thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So hopefully
So anyway, by the time this is up,
we will have an inkling. We might not know for real because
Yeah, exactly.
a lot of results aren't actually verified until December. So
Mhm.
Hmm.
you know, cross your fingers and all of that stuff. Meanwhile, we also have another thing going on around town, which Yarnia is helping to sponsor. The MFEE ShowUP Montclair on November 7th, which is virtual this year. And MFEE is the Montclair Fund
for educational
Excellence.
Mm-hmm.
Which is an amazing nonprofit that does a lot of work with our schools in town, and they're fundraising with kind of like a variety show.
So what does MFEE
Yeah, I've seen some of the
sponsor? Because,
signs.
like, honestly, I mean, I have kids in the high school, but I didn't have kids in elementary school.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So, like, I don't know
I
if they
think
do.
a lot more of it is in the elementary and,
Yeah.
and middle
Yeah.
school grades.
They
High
but-
school is like the graduation, project graduation.
Project graduation
That's
is a big
the thing that bombards my mailbox.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of high school specific once
Yeah.
you get there.
Mhm.
MFE does grants for teachers and for the schools. So, like, if a teacher is like, you know what, there are a lot of kids who don't have their own free reading books, and they're doing education from home, and they need something to read, and they don't have anything. A teacher can put together a proposal for a grant, and MFEE will fund it.
Mhm.
So they tend to funnel a lot of money for stuff that teachers are doing, and educators in schools, and it can be anything from like programs to physical things. So it's basically like supporting the teachers. They also
Cool.
do, every year they do teacher toasts where
Yeah.
parents sponsor like basically a party to celebrate the teachers. Then that raises money.
Mhm.
So that's a big tradition, and this is
And
their,
those have been so great. I mean, we,
Those are so
you know,
fun.
when Haley was in,
A
especially in elementary school, every year we went to at least a couple, and,
Oh, yeah.
and we're co-hosts and whatever. But it's such a great thing because it's such a way to appreciate what the teachers do, every day.
to
And-
celebrate them.
Yeah, yeah.
And to say thank you at the end of the year. I was a little bummed
Yeah.
that last year, like, we couldn't really have
Yeah,
any teacher
yeah.
toasts because I love our kindergarten teacher.
Mhm.
But so we're one of several sponsors of MFEE ShowUP Montclair. And you can buy tickets on their line. I think it's online. It's
I'll
mfee.org.
put the link.
Mhm.
And I'll put the link.
And we definitely should repost that on Instagram to
Oh,
hopefully
yeah,
get
yeah.
people to, yeah.
And I know there are a couple performers. Some are teachers, some are like faculty, some are parents in the community. A friend of mine is doing magic. So I'm like,
Ooh,
like
nice.
do the Doug Henning.
And
he's like, I
is
can't
that
do
Friday? Is the 7th Friday?
Something.
Ooh, so that's the day this will go up, hopefully, right? Are we shooting
Today's
for Friday?
It's no 3rd, 4th, 5th,
Is it
6th.
Saturday?
Oh, it's Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So there's time,
Yeah.
and you can buy the tickets online and go right in.
I was
Mhm.
like, good, because Jen's supposed to speak at my Girl Scout meeting on Friday.
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost forgot. I was like, man,
I almost
just call
forgot
me
this
and I'd be like,
morning.
hi, what up?
I remember. I have to get that together.
Yeah.
I've already told people to save the time. It's just a matter of scheduling it
That's fine.
on
Just
Zoom.
shoot me a note. I don't go anywhere. So, as I said, my risk budget is here, and I don't go anywhere.
You're pretty much at
I'm
home.
pretty much it. I'm pretty much it. Do we have anything else for happening around town? Anything else?
Not that much for happening around town, but I would suggest subscribing and putting on the alarm bell because we have this podcast. We most probably have the next podcast.
That's right. And then
we'll see.
we'll see what our next one is. Yes.
Amanda will be a little busy.
Well, indisposed. Yes.
Yeah. So, like, subscribe, and alarm bell. The alarm bell.
And
is
that
the
way,
notifications.
when we get back after
Yeah.
number 7 is on the scene,
I see a baby.
then you'll know when our next one is.
Maybe
out
we
after
can
that.
do some because we did the Zoom weaving.
Oh yeah, maybe
Oh,
we
we
could
could
do
do
we could do
Zoom.
like a live Zoom.
We can do a live Zoom
and then save that
That'd be
as
fun.
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. Yeah. So
yeah. All
That would
right,
be super fun.
So-
but
we might
still,
do
you
that.
want to know when that's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know when we have our special Brady Bunch episode.
And actually, that would be fun too because then we can answer questions as they come up and everything too.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, that could be good.
All right. Cool.
So we'll have a plan on that next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not gonna. And we have a new space.
Yes.
Yeah, we moved.
So we
I like
moved
this.
around in the store.
Do you feel like you're on the View a little bit?
I do
right?
feel like it's a little bit on the view. I also like I
They
like
already
having
have
the
you.
table because then I
Yeah.
can sit
Yeah,
with
there's a
it.
place to put stuff.
There's a
and-
place to put stuff, and I don't have to be conscious of like, am I slouching?
Am I
Which-
sitting like a lady?
Yes, I am slouching. Am I sitting like a lady? I mean, today I have on leggings, so it's fine. But like, normally I'd be like
Yeah.
sprawling
It
around.
might take us a while to find.
I think I like this. We'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, I feel like we
Yeah.
should have like a guessing game. Like, where in the store
Yeah.
are we today?
Comment below.
Actually, it's gonna gonna be really nice because I can put the banners down here, and it's not gonna like.
Yeah,
interfere
I
with
like that.
We'll
I
see.
like
We'll
that.
see. Maybe we can put
Yeah.
something right in the front. We'll see.
All right. Next up, we have finished objects.
All right.
I'll start because I don't have very many. I am still nothing finished except for I have been stress spinning.
Oh, that's a good thing to do.
It's good because it's not mindless. It is a little bit more mindful, although I'm not really good with all of that mindful thing. My brain never stops. But it's something that I can do and not have to think too much about. It's now it's on
Well,
automatic.
it's like you really are focusing on that, right?
I'm
You're
focusing
kind of,
on
yeah,
that.
which is
Yeah.
nice. That's
and I
like,
can
yeah.
still like shout at my children.
That is beautiful.
Thank
That.
you.
That is
So I have a
gorgeous.
couple of skeins that I have finished, and spinning on the wheel goes pretty fast. Spinning hand spindle is less fast.
We still have
Um,
one wheel, right?
I
We
still just
do.
have-
Actually, we need to maybe I don't know. Well, you won't have time today. Maybe at some point you can escape during the day when I'm here and we can look over the stuff.
Oh, totally. I can revamp it. So those are
This
finished.
is so gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Which
This reminds
means-
me of my room, my apartment in college. My bedroom. It was all purple and green, dark like this. I love it. It looks like my.
These are so
Thank you.
Yeah.
And of
Where's-
course I didn't
ooh,
label
I love
them
that
because I
one
forgot.
too. Hmm?
I didn't label them. I forgot.
Oh wow.
So I
These are
have
so
those
nice.
which
Gorgeous.
are
Fabulous.
finished, which means I spun them, I wound them onto the nitty nitty to make a skein, and then I washed them in like super hot water.
Mhm.
Which yes, I washed wool in super hot water.
They're so pretty.
Because that's how you finish spinning.
Yeah.
And then I have a bunch of balls that I did
They're
not
so nice.
finish.
Wow.
And
Yours
they're
are
wound
pretty.
really
This
tight.
would make a really nice hat.
Your
I know, it's not one nice and soft. Kathleen's like,
It may not make it back down to the table.
and here's some that I did not finish. So that's
Ooh,
why
this
they're
has
wound.
sparkle.
I know, I really like
I
that
know.
one.
I have a
Is that
blending.
Stelina? That's Stelina.
It's Stelina. I
Wow.
have a blending board. So one of the things that I
Oh,
do
those
with
those videos are so fun to
they're
watch.
so fun to watch.
To
Do
make the
YouTube.
little like worm noodles.
The Rolex.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's so fun to do.
Wow.
It looks
I
basically
love
like a
this.
giant dog brush.
Uh-huh,
And then I
yeah,
take
yeah.
all the colors that I don't particularly like, or I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, and then I'll blend them all together, and I can put some sparkle in them, and then I make Rolex and spin them.
I'll take pictures because these are really
They're
beautifully
so
spun.
fun.
Like
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the tension's nice and
Mhm, yeah.
I was like,
Nice
I like
and
that you think the
bouncy.
tension's nice and even on that one, because all I see is the uneven parts.
No, but
As
like
usual.
you can tell, like it's not too tight, it's not too
Yeah.
loose. It would be a pleasure to know.
It's
Yeah.
not crazy.
Gorgeous.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
This is so soft. Any
Beautifully
idea what this one is?
I think that is a blending board one, and I don't remember.
Wow, it feels great.
I
It's
like
really
this. So
nice.
this is blending board where the colors are like more
It's more tweedy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
As opposed to like
barber pole-y.
Right.
this one, where this is more like barber pole.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the barber pole in the skein a ton, but when I'm knitting, like
I like the
I like
tweedy.
the tweedy.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Mhm.
One of the things
Cool.
I'm messing around with is Jillian Moreno's drafting technique of holding two together, two types of and two colorways together as you draft. So
Oh,
then
wow.
it gets both a little bit barber pole but a little bit tweedy, and it's
Ooh.
more like this one,
oh cool.
where it's
Mhm.
barber
Where
pole
each-
but
One is
yeah,
could
That
be
less
colors.
contrast.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Less
Love-
contrast.
If you love this style, Peterbrook is the thing. to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
I
It
know.
shall be coming.
Yeah, I love Feederbrook. Feederbrook Farm, DK and bulky. Is that what we carry?
We're just
Mhm.
getting DK
DK.
because they're out of bulky. She bought a mill.
She bought
Wow.
a mill?
Yeah.
Wow. Go her.
I know.
She's awesome. I know. Yeah.
All right.
So I've done spinning. That's what I've got.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I'm gonna
That's
throw it
a
out.
awesome
It's a
finished
lot of
project.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Absolutely. I'll take a picture so you guys can see that up close because
And it's like
you want
a,
to see it up close.
It's like a 2-in-1 finished
It
object
is.
because you get to do something else also.
And now I need to figure out what to do with them. That's
Yeah.
the problem that I'm running into now is I'm accumulating.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll end up doing like your blanket where you did like some of them will be gifts, so
Oh, the,
don't worry. Some of you all might get something. Just need to pick which. But yeah, your why can't I talk?
The scrap blanket?
Yes.
That would
That would
be
be
so
really
pretty.
cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, which scrap blanket?
The chevron one?
No, not the chevron one. What's the granny one?
Oh, the granny
stripe.
stripe.
Oh, the
row.
granny
Yeah,
stripes, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That could
Yeah,
work.
You
yeah.
have a
That
lot
would
of
be
hands
pretty.
button, right?
Oh, I have a lot. This is just a little bit. This is just what was closest to the door.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That would be
That
cool
would
in a
be
gradient. like,
gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I could lay it all out. And a lot of them are about the same weight because, like, I have a default spin,
Mm-hmm.
which works out to be anywhere between a DK and an Aran, I think. Some of it's a
Mhm.
little bit bulkier than others. It just
Mhm.
depends on the, how much I'm focusing on it.
Mhm. Cool.
But Haley, what do you have?
I have one
Love her.
finished object,
Yay!
and you've seen it before. It's the J.W. Anderson Harry Styles with Hairy.
Harry.
Because it's for Anna,
'Cause
our
it's for
dog.
My dog. And I finished it, and
That's
my
so
mom
awesome.
steamed it, so it is nice and smooth and
Because
flat.
when we first put it on Anna, she was a little like pulling
She
her
was, like-
arms back.
she's like,
She was-
So
So
she
we'll-
hasn't worn it, but it is a lot like
it's softer. and-
wearable now.
Oh,
And
it's
so-
We'll do a
so
picture later
cute.
today.
Yay.
Haley can be holding her,
Here's
and
the sleeves.
she will model it.
Her little
And then she
sleeves.
just I don't think I'm gonna do buttons because there are big the original has big black buttons on the blue button. What's this called?
Band.
Button band. Yes, but
You could do yarn
she
buttons.
was.
Oh, that would be
just
cute.
like a,
You could
a
do,
six stitch magic
Yeah.
Just a
thing.
little thing. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
But
genius.
I feel like it
You
should
could
have
do
a
like a little
closure
crochet button.
because otherwise,
I
when
think
we
it's
put it
fine when
on,
it's open.
flapping it'll flap in the dirt otherwise.
Well, I can tell you what I have a lot of is snaps.
Yeah, exactly. We can do
Oh.
snaps, do a crocheted button, and then
Oh,
do
and
snaps
then
on the.
snaps
Yes, that's what
underneath.
I would totally do that.
That way you don't have to do buttonholes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then try to button her in it, because that's
Yeah.
going to be a struggle.
Yeah,
Because
She
also,
would.
like when Jean, walks her in the park and stuff, it's
I know he wants
gonna-
to walk her with wearing it.
and he's convinced people are gonna know what it is.
They are. So,
I
but
think
you know
so.
who?
Well.
I think
Some will, yeah.
Haley's age. We'll know
yeah,
what it is.
everyone my
Yeah.
age will know. Like, oh my
Mhm.
god, is that? Because I've seen a lot of
Us
people
old as
do
well.
versions in like their own color scheme, like
Mhm.
following this,
Oh.
but changing it to like different tones and different like. I've seen like a cotton candy one where it's like
Mm-hmm.
light pink, light blue.
Sounds
like
fun.
that kind of thing.
That'd be
So.
cool.
So all right, so yes, we will take a picture and you can pop
It's
it
not
in.
where it's
so.
not being worn at the moment, but
And actually,
is
as
a
it'll
wearable.
be quick to do those buttons, so maybe we even do that before we model today. We'll see.
I don't know. I have an essay to write.
Okay. all right. Well, we'll
All
see.
right,
Maybe
college.
maybe we'll take one picture today. Maybe we'll take another one later before the podcast gets edited.
Sure.
We'll
Well,
see
I
where
mean,
it fits.
yeah, today and then for Instagram and then again
Yeah.
for
Yes.
Instagram because this is worth
We're going to
it.
get a lot of mileage out of this one.
Yeah, totally. You should. It's awesome.
Totally should. It really is cute.
It's adorable.
It's
It's
super,
so
super
cute.
cute.
Color's supposed to fold down.
Mhm.
Yes.
It'll be
And I did run out of the first color, but I finished it with bold. So that's like bold would be perfect for this because it's like stretchy.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, and washable, so you don't have to worry
Yes.
if it's when she goes and finds something fun to roll in.
Exactly, which she does
Yeah.
regularly.
Yes.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Cute.
And it was very quick. Like
Yeah,
normally
yeah.
squares take forever, but this one really didn't take forever, even though it's putting a lot of squares together.
Oh, they're
So-
tiny. They're tiny squares. So
Yeah,
it's
little
just
baby square.
potato chippy, right? You just kept
Yeah,
going.
it took like maybe 6 minutes to do a square.
That's not bad.
Oh wow.
All right. So
That's
Kathleen,
fine.
what do
more
you
finished
have?
objects. I'm so proud of myself. I have a weaving. Dun, dun, dun.
Yay.
I watched on Sunday afternoon. I watched Jen's podcast or her segment that she did for the Bull Walk on our.
Where my
we have
computer crapped out.
on our Yarnia channel.
Yeah.
Because
That's fun.
what I wanted to do was put together kits for the store. We've had
Yep.
a couple of people come in and say, do you have something where I can make one of those? And we're like, oh yeah, we should. So in order to put together the kits, I thought, let me, follow along with the tutorial and
Yeah.
actually make one. So it was a lot of fun. It really was.
And they go quick.
They go really
super
quick.
They're
Yeah,
super
yeah.
fun. They make great gifts.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And it's a great activity to do with kids. I think,
Oh, absolutely.
that's what people have been asking.
Yeah.
So, I started with some of our Giza cotton in the middle, and then I used some diamond superwash, and it is such a great thing to use scraps.
Oh,
It's
totally.
That's
absolutely.
just so your color scheme.
I know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
It really is. the roving is from some tubes that we have of Sweet Georgia. So I am going to be putting together kits, and we'll include some of that. We'll include some yarn, but it really is a great thing for people to incorporate their own yarns as well.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
super fun.
So it was a lot of fun, and
I'll see if I can record another tutorial that doesn't have my computer cutting out 3/4 of the way through.
No, it's great. We watched it on Sunday? We watched it on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Because I was weaving, I'll get to that. And then Abby was doing hers, and I wanted to show her the difference between tabby and sumac.
Yes.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, because she's doing like an easel.
She's doing like a tapestry weave kind of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
she gets bored after 8 rows.
So,
She's whatever. But, yeah.
so this was so much fun to do.
Yay.
Love it. And so we'll put together some kits. We'll link to Jen's tutorial. If she wants to re-record it, that's fine too. We'll see.
I might take a crack
We'll
at
see.
it.
And but definitely, hey, I was able to do this after watching it, and I haven't done weaving since I was in Girl Scouts.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so it was
It's
a lot of
exactly
fun.
like you remember over and over.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So that is my finished object number 1. And then finished object number 2 is this is a cowl Tannenbaum, and I'm not going to put it on because I don't know, whatever.
Do you want me to put it on?
You can put it on if you like, sure. And it is by our very own Saysha Greene, who's one of our associates here in the store and a wonderful designer. And actually, we're going to be talking with her later in this episode.
Yay.
So, this was some yarn that I bought on the way back from the Adirondacks, and I love the color. I really have gotten so into like the golds.
Yeah.
It's funny because I've kind of
is a very-
transitioned from the all the orange all the time more to the golds. I really have.
I was going
Especially
to
for
ask if
fall.
that was
Yeah.
Lucky Tweed, because isn't there a
It's-
color?
it's
that-
There is a
similar.
color like Lucky.
Well, you'll see that in a little bit. It's in here too.
I'm like, isn't there a color? And Kathleen's like,
It's
yeah,
a
it's
it's
in
a
my bag.
little.
I love this
So
pattern.
this is so great, and actually I have an almost whip later related to this that you will also see. Such a great pattern, such a great gift pattern,
Yeah.
because I don't know, I made this in a couple of evenings. I mean, it was definitely
Yeah, that's the amount of time.
within a week. Within a week, you
Yeah.
certainly could do this. So the pattern's called Tannenbaum. It's by Saysha Greene, and this is yarn that I got on our way back when we stopped at the yarn shop in Saugerties, which actually the woman who worked there's name was Kathleen too. So that was really fun. We didn't get to meet the owner, but she's like their main other person. So we had a really fun time when talking with her.
Fun.
And always have to get a skein at your local yarn store when you're visiting.
Always.
Support the other local businesses. And this is Jill Draper Makes, which I had not used before.
I love
so
Jill Draper Makes.
I knew that. I
That's on my
remembered you
stash.
said that. Yeah.
I like that too.
So this is I don't have the label with me. I forget exactly which one it is, but
Kingston?
it may be Kingston. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
DK. It's a DK.
That might be Kingston,
Yeah, and actually the color is Broadway. I do remember that now, which I don't get the connection. Maybe
Is
like
it Broadway in Kingston?
maybe.
Wow.
Maybe, yeah. So, so it's basically garter, and then you're increasing and decreasing, and
Oh, cool.
Saysha
So it's not ribs.
gives
it's
instructions. Yeah, you knit it flat.
Oh.
Yeah, you knit it flat,
She's
and then
so smart.
She
and
is.
so
it's like
clever.
she's a
I love
clever
reversible
cookie.
too.
Patterns.
it could be reversible
Oh, you could
actually
totally
if you
make
did
that
it.
reversible.
Yeah, if you did it more neatly than I did. So she has instructions. She has instructions for grafting the inside.
Mm-hmm.
But being me,
You 3D.
I did a
off.
3 needle bind off, and it's fine. It really is fine. I don't mind. Whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Because you know what? I can do a 3 needle bind off sitting on the couch. When I do
Yeah.
Kitchener, I have to be sitting
You
at
have
a
to
table.
sit. Oh, really?
Oh, I thought you were
I,
going to say stand up. I'm just.
I
No,
love
no.
Kitchener.
Yeah,
I'm the
don't love it
weirdo
so
who loves
much.
Kitchener and picking up
I
I
don't
stitches.
like
love it so
Kitchener
much.
as well.
I like picking up stitches. That I do like. It's
I
a
do
weird.
not like picking up stitches.
It's a weird thing to like, but I like it. But no, not Kitchener. So 3 needle bind off is perfect. It's just I did one
You can't
extra
tell,
row.
yeah. You
I did
can't
one extra row,
Yeah.
and then I did the 3 needle bind off on the back, and it's done.
It looks
Easy
great.
peasy.
She is
Great
like
gift.
killing it with patterns.
I
And this is an
Yeah.
older one. This is from a couple of years ago.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. She's
You
got
can
like
check it
gorgeous
out on
brioche
Audible
shawl
page.
pattern. Like,
Yeah, don't worry.
So I've got to do.
Molly.
It's not a store sample, but I'll put it in my Ravelry. I don't even know if I did this so fast. I don't even know if I created a project.
Wow.
I know I
have
took
so many
pictures of it.
pictures. I mean, I have so many whips finished objects. I have never created projects.
Yeah.
It's
I
on my
need to
to-dos.
do a day of or a morning of catch up on
Stash
Ravelry.
projects.
The stash I'm actually a little bit better with, I say, and then I
Terrible.
find things. Well, it's funny because I go to link to something, I'm like, oh yeah, I never did put that in, did I?
No.
But I
I'm
usually can
terrible
find a
with the
picture on my
stash.
camera. That's one of the things that's fun when I, when I am looking through for something else. I'm like, oh yeah, I took a picture of that. That's so pretty. It's like it makes you think about what you're adding to your stash.
I'm absolutely terrible. Absolutely
I want to
Oh,
be.
I
I
don't add that much stash anymore. I mostly
because the stash is the
this
store.
is my stash.
Well, I mean, it's only stash because like on Ravelry it's stash, but yeah, it's like I buy it to make something and then it goes into stash. It's
Right,
true
yeah,
stash.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not.
I have a lot of leftovers that I should index.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I cannot
Yeah.
find that Kelly green that I made Eric's hat out of last
I
year.
know,
remember
I need
that hat.
to-
Yeah.
And he got
Yeah.
there's a hole in it because
Well,
he was
yeah,
5.
just do like a small bucket for each weight, and that way you only have one.
That's
to
how I
look
have
for
mine
each.
organized.
That's kind of what I've
Colors.
evolved
I
to.
saw your colors.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you organized by color, which I thought was so smart.
Yeah.
In the makes sense for this.
Well, that's
Yeah.
for
When
that's
you
for the
wanna use-
weaving stash,
uh-huh.
and then like the
Mm.
leftover yarn stash. If it's a bigger ball, like something that I could be usable, then it goes into a ball.
Yeah, I gotta
Mhm.
work on that. I don't know. In my spare time, I shall work on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally.
So what?
So what do
finished
you have
objects are you
finished?
gonna
You
show
have a
us?
I'll show you my weaving.
Yeah.
Okay, and I will take a picture of this because this is my very first weaving. So all of you guys are like,
So
"Oh my gosh,
pretty.
you guys never make mistakes. Everything you make looks beautiful." Not. This is like this is like
Well, it's your
knitting
first
101
one. It's your
hat.
first one.
This is my weaving 101
I love
dishcloth.
it. So
But
nice.
this is still a present for my mom for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm making her a dishcloth.
What yarn did you use again?
This is hand knit cotton.
Very nice.
Nice. It looks
Um,
great woven up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does.
So I was going for that like what do you call it? Williams Sonoma type.
Yeah.
striped dish
Yeah.
towel
Yeah.
look.
Perfect.
And you
Really
can
nice.
see, well, you'll be able to see when I take a picture of it, right? Like this is the beginning, where my gauge is looser,
Yeah.
and then I got tighter up here at the
You
end.
can see,
it's
like,
a lot
just
more
like-
even.
Comes in just a little.
Yeah, but
It looks great
I
though.
love
Yeah.
it.
I am.
Very nice.
So
I love this weight.
yeah.
I had to like bang on it to get it that tight at the top though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think is it because like that's such a dense and round.
Yeah,
yarn
it's
that,
a
like,
pretty.
it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't
Doesn't
squish
interlock,
nicely
yeah.
the way that I think 2-ply would be like. I could
Yeah.
just go. I was watching one line
Go
they're like,
squish.
Mhm.
and I'm like.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, the
It just
other
doesn't slide as much, right? The
Yeah.
cotton is more grabby. It's
and the other thing is that often when you do weaving like this, like textile weaving, as opposed to tapestry weaving where it's like pretty, like just pretty.
That's
Doesn't-
pretty
It
too.
doesn't have. This is pretty too, but this actually has
it's
like,
functional.
it has a
It's-
purpose.
Yeah. Mhm.
It has a use. It has some structure to it, as opposed to tapestry weaving. You can just leave the ends hanging in the background and know what it's like.
Yeah, Jen's commenting and giving me pointers for next time. I was telling her, I did not read anything. So I started this on Labor
So
Day
I know. I love it.
Monday, Monday. I
Mhm.
started this on Labor Day Monday because
Good weaving.
it was like a bonus day. And I had an afternoon that I didn't have anything required
Very nice.
to do. And warping your loom takes a block of time,
Mhm.
Takes a while.
Yeah.
which I usually don't have,
Mm-hmm.
period. So I watched YouTube videos from Shocked and from, there's another YouTuber that I watched who has like 8 videos about using the Cricut loom. She teaches classes in Nova Scotia.
Mhm.
So I used her videos and I found them like super useful just to like go with her step by step and
Mhm.
like,
Cool.
so I worked on the short width of the table because I
Mm-hmm.
figured that was a good width for a dish towel, right? If I was doing a scarf or something, I'd have to pull out the leaves and do the long width of my table, right? Because
Yeah.
I need a
Or a warping board.
however long your warp is like that's how long your cloth's gonna be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or it's gonna be shorter actually because you've got like extra at the ends that you end
Mhm.
up.
Got like a foot of waist at the beginning
Yeah.
and at the end.
Mhm.
So yeah, that surprised me too, like how much extra there was that I couldn't use at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
But I basically used a whole skein of hand knit cotton to warp it.
Mhm.
right? Rowan hand knit cotton. And then it used probably about a skein of hand knit cotton altogether because I've got about half the beige and half the white left over. That I'm going to crochet a dishcloth for my mom.
So
Or
it'll be a
two.
matching set.
Yeah, so it'll be a little matching set, and that's my
Nice.
Christmas present. We were talking about how to make like the little selvage ends a little bit straighter.
I was gonna say, this is amazing, because like normally if you don't do like a couple of techniques, like your selvages end up, you make
Like an hourglass.
an hourglass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
Yeah,
this
it
is
really
like,
does- it's
this
very
is
neat. It's
super,
very even.
super even.
It is. It is.
Well,
It's your first one.
it's my
Yeah,
first
your
one.
First
I
one.
mean,
it's like,
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
good.
Your
Um,
first anything, knitting, crochet. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we were podcasting when I crocheted my first crochet thing, which was Charlie's baby blanket.
Oh, yeah.
And my edges
Yeah.
like go
Yes.
out like that for like the first 20 rows. Right? Like your
Yeah.
first thing is never going to be
It's always going to have some issues.
never
You're
gonna be
learning.
perfect.
You're
perfect.
learning,
Yeah.
you know?
Next one will be better, and
Yeah,
the next one will be better.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited. I want to try with a Zauber ball because I think that will be
Oh,
spectacular.
with a Zauber ball.
spectacular.
Oh,
would be
yeah.
great.
That'd be nice.
One of the things that I was suggesting to Amanda is also like when you weave, it's one of those things that it took me a while to get used to, and I haven't done a ton of weaving. But the fact that you actually want a little bit of open space between your yarn, so it'll look a little bit gauzy, but then it'll close up when it's finished. And by finishing cloth is kind of like finishing spinning yarn, where it's
Mhm.
like you beat the ever-loving crap out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It may
Like-
shrink when my mom washes the first time, but we'll
Well,
let
yeah, but
her
that's-
think she messed up.
But that's what you want. That's
Just
what you
kidding.
want to do. Is
I'll tell
like
her.
you, if it has some open space and it's a little bit gauzy, then when you wash it on hot and you dry it, tumble dry it, and then you press it on,
Yeah.
really press it to finish it to get a nice crisp finish, or drapey finish depending on what you want. Then it all kind of goes
Mm-hmm.
sucks together.
So, more to come, because this was,
So nice.
like I said, I spent probably
I love
4
this.
hours warping it, and
So
that
pretty.
included repeatedly watching YouTube videos
On how to warp.
on how to warp,
I hate
on
warping.
how to build your Cricut loom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At which point I put the side on backwards once, so I had to redo that.
Oopsie.
And then clamping it to the dining room table, and then warping it, and then doing like the first 2 stripes or so. That took me 4 hours. And then I started it again. I didn't work on it until Sunday night, and I did another hour and a half watching some podcasts, and I finished it.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff was like,
So
"You're done with the whole project that fast?"
It's like painting or something, right? The setup is everything, right?
The
The
setup is
setup is
everything.
all
Setup is
the,
a lot.
Well,
yeah, it's a lot of
yeah.
time. and
So I
whatever.
think he's now conditioned to think that things take me a very long time to finish, apparently.
But weaving does go quickly. It's the
It's
setting
really
up the
fast.
warp, and I hate setting up the warp,
Mhm.
which is why I don't do more weaving.
I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind anything that ends up being repetitive that I can watch
Yeah.
podcasts doing.
Maybe in January I will do some weaving.
There you
It's
go.
fun.
I
We're
have
getting
a-
we're getting some more looms. We only have one right now, one
Mhm,
Cricut, but we're
mhm.
getting some more for holiday gifting and
Yeah.
some smaller ones and some of the little zooms, which I'm
Oh,
excited
the
to try
Zoom
out.
looms
Yeah.
are fun.
Yeah.
That's
Those would
also
be
a
fun.
good scrap thing.
Yeah, totally,
Uh-huh.
totally. I'm
Uh-huh.
really excited to try those out because I remember when we were at TNNA and
Oh,
they had
wow.
like some of the Zoom loom stuff.
I love it.
But yeah, those are another like not 6-minute squares, but
Yeah.
20-minute squares.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else
Oh,
you
do you
got
want to
there?
see all my other stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, we
More
see
whips.
some.
All right, like I
No,
said,
finished
I'm
objects,
working
more
on
finished
baby finished objects,
Yeah.
which go fast. But this is the last time you'll see this.
So
baby.
cute. Oh my
I
goodness.
finished my
So happy.
Embladress by Tina Hauglund. Strixzilla, I think, is her like crafty name. But Tina Hauglund, who's an
So
awesome
adorable.
Norwegian designer. But I put snaps on it, so yeah. I haven't opened them but once, so they're like a little bit stiff to open, but they won't be after I use it several times. But yeah, I just ordered a
Cute.
snaps
Oh my God.
kit.
So adorable.
Yeah, and I didn't make button holes on my button bands. I just sewed them both plain, and now I
Mhm.
can snap it, which for me
So much easier on a baby.
so much easier.
So much
And they
easier.
don't-
So much easier on a grown up.
They
Who
don't
are we
have
kidding?
it done. So yeah, I got like little snappies all the way down the legs.
Love it.
I spaced them 2 inches apart. It was just easy.
Cute.
Very nice.
So cute.
And yeah, I did this during a conference call. Put the snaps in.
Cool.
It was pretty easy.
That's gonna be
Yay.
one
Love
cozy
it.
baby.
I recommend this.
You need a good close-up picture of that.
Oh,
It's just so
totally,
adorable.
totally.
So
I
adorable.
like you were saying, I need to update my Ravelry anyway. I'll do my project page, and yeah, and we'll comment on how awesome Google Translate is for Norwegian designs.
Right.
Because you too can knit this in English. All you have to do is copy the pattern that's only in Norwegian, paste it into Google Translate, and it gives you English knitting instructions.
Pretty amazing.
Which is amazing.
Yeah,
it
and they're
is,
good
it
English
is.
knitting instructions.
Gotta be some knitter in there. Sitting there
Totally.
going like, that is not what that term means.
Yeah.
Either that or we're super predictable and AI had no problem figuring out the knitting language.
Bit of both.
My other thing, which I hadn't even
God.
cast on
So
last time,
cute.
and now I've finished,
Ugh.
is some, I told you I was going to do pants, right? So I did pants. This is
So
Imrebuske.
adorable.
This is
Oh my
Imrebuske
God.
by Mini Modes.
So cute.
You got to put that in our favorites. I've had other people come in recently
That
talk about
is-
doing baby pants.
Adorable.
Oh, is
So
this
let me
the
comment
one?
on these baby
Yeah.
pants. This is at first the yarn. This is in Sugarbush Crisp in the color Titanium.
So
which
it's
we
the
have a
DK
lot-
weight.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
DK weight. I started it one night. So my daughter has a Twitch stream. My oldest, she is streaming old DS games.
Sorry.
Oh, cute.
So she does Mario Kart on DS, and then she
That's cute.
and then she
I
also
love
does
that.
Zelda Spirit Tracks, which is what I've been watching her play, like the whole story of Zelda Spirit Tracks. It's so much fun. So like I did the top, like the, it starts waist down all the round. So I did to the divide. Well, I did it to like here, which was a ball of crisp because it's 50 grams. So I did 50 grams during one sitting, and then I did like the last 8 rows and divided for the legs and did one leg in one sitting and then the other leg in one sitting. So 3 days, finished, no problem.
It's kind of like the size of a hat, right? Imagine.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. Like,
Yeah.
it's about. No, like when you, that's sometimes how you
it's a
think
tall
about
hat.
it. It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Hat
and
with
it
a
has a
full
little
brim.
I-cord drawstring at the top, so you don't have to depend
So
on
cute.
the tightness of your
Uh-huh.
ribbing,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
nice. So I will say, so this is a pattern that was not in English originally and was translated to English. The English translation is challenging to decode. It is, there's, and some of the math is not right. Like 38 minus 6 is not 24. Or 32 minus 6 is not 24. And I'm like, wait, because that's how many are around the bottom. And I'm like, I have 26. I have 26. Why do I have 26? And then I'm like, wait, because 32 minus 6 is not 24. So it's okay. I actually went through and rewrote the pattern and contacted the designer, and we'll see. But if anybody, who watches our podcast has purchased it and needs like a little bit of assistance, message me on Ravelry.
Yeah.
Because
And a lot of
it's a
designers.
great pattern. It's
Yeah.
so
cute.
It's like once you have the clear instructions, it's very easy to execute. It's like a little waffly pattern that
So
is
cute,
very
yeah.
easy to, to just TV knitting, and
I do think too, a lot of designers, like if they are having their patterns translated, they're really receptive to that kind of feedback.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want to be sending things out that are incorrect.
Yeah.
But if it's not their first language, who knows who helped them with the translation.
Yeah.
totally.
So hopefully you'll hear
And
something
translating
positive
is
on
hard.
that. It
Yeah.
is. It's really hard.
That's why
yeah.
it's amazing that the
That-
Google
Exactly.
shocked.
Exactly. It's
I'm
not
shocked.
easy for
Accurate.
humans to do.
Right.
So I know.
Right?
Yeah.
But
So.
and I've tested a lot of patterns. I've like given
Yeah.
comments to designers who were publishing for the first time, so that's something that I've done before, and so rewriting
Yeah.
it in standard English in a way that I think American readers would be familiar with was something that wasn't like
Yeah.
out of my expertise realm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Something that works.
So it exists. It's just not on Ravelry right now, but it's such a good pattern.
Yeah, it's so
Cute.
sweet.
It's
So
It's
adorable.
really cute. Yeah. You have to do a little bit of, I did mattress stitch because I like mattress stitch. I like seaming. I mattress stitched the whole together at, between when you separate for the legs, there's a little gap. You mattress stitch that, and it's super fast and easy. I have another pair of pants I'm going to make in the next 2 weeks, but if I have extra time, I'm going to make these in
Another pair
navy.
of those. Yeah. So cute. Oh my
good
goodness.
So, yeah, because that's fast. And I can put this over summer onesies.
There you go.
Yeah.
But, yay. So that's Imrebuske by Many Modes. And again, there's like adult sweater patterns, there's hats, there's everything in this
Using
pattern.
that tree
The Embla pattern. Same with the Imre pattern. There's like every child outfit you can think of or component. Mittens and hats and
So you can have a
onesies.
full-
You can have a
You
whole
can
thing.
deck them out.
Yeah. You just have
Deck
to
them out.
Fun.
figure out the
Awesome.
pattern.
Let's move to On the Needles. Amanda, you want to
Sure.
go?
Oh my gosh. Are y'all
go.
sick of hearing me talk?
We'll go back that way.
Keep talking.
All right. I have 2 things. We're going to continue with the only thing I'm working on now is baby stuff because, well, aside from my mom's holiday present, I don't know what my dad's getting. He might be getting a grandchild.
It takes a lot of effort to make one.
That
Yeah.
is definitely a finished object.
But my mom, when I asked her what she wanted for the holidays, I think I might have told you guys, like, she gave me the colors of her kitchen. And I'm like, what?
Something from my kitchen.
So, yeah, so that's why she's getting dishcloths and dish towels.
It's a good hint. It was,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I'm going to make. Well, actually, I thought about a floor mat, but then that takes time and a lot of yarn.
That's a lot,
and
yeah.
so I didn't do that.
That's a lot of work.
Okay, so this is the sweater from the Woolfolk Little Bitty collection
Oh my goodness.
by Florence
So cute.
Merlin. I showed you the pants last time. There was when we were podcasting, I hadn't finished the waistband. You remember I made a mess. Well, it wasn't a mess. It was a minor error. I had to rip back about 8 rows and reknit it, and then because I had forgotten to do the stockinette part to do the fold over on the pants. So I did that, and then I realized I had not put in holes on either side to do the I-cord.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So I had to take it all back out again and do it again.
No!
But now it's all done, and it looks just right. So there was a picture of those finished pants parts. None of it has been seamed yet. But the pants parts are done. And now I'm working on the sweater parts. I'm going from like big things, and then there's also a bonnet and there's booties. So I figure I could probably do a booty in a day, maybe while I'm in labor. So
Yeah, I think you could.
yeah. Or, I mean, in worst case, like, even if they kick me out in 36 hours, I still definitely get to rest at least 24, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, by myself at the hospital, I can totally do a booty.
You're like, that's a vacation.
Yeah. So, this will get done. So
get the big things done with
Get
the
the big
seaming,
things
the
done.
walking, and
And the counting and all that jazz.
yeah.
So this one is done,
So
it's like a
pretty.
kimono top, so you've got the back,
It is so precious.
so this is the back, and then you have 2 fronts because they wrap,
Mhm,
right, like
mhm.
all the way over and button up. There's 4 buttons on the
So
side.
sweet.
So I have a back, I have a front done, and I'm like to the arm sleeve
Mhm.
divide or sleeve shaping of the other front. I know that from this point it takes me about 2.5 hours to finish the rest of the front. So
Mhm.
that's a good afternoon of conference calls.
The texture is so pretty. I love the
Right?
little,
It's just a little
It's just
subtle,
so precious.
beautiful.
Yeah.
and it works so beautifully with the yarn, which I know it was designed for.
The
right?
yarn
Yeah.
It
is
complements.
The yarn is Woolfolk Snow, and
Just a
a
fingering
1
weight.
plus 02 colorway, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a fingering weight. It's beautiful.
It is. It's so
But
gorgeous.
this,
So
this is,
beautiful.
like I said last time, the impetus behind me saying, like, we need Woolfolk.
We need Woolfolk right
I
now.
want to get this pattern.
We need Woolfolk in time
Yeah.
before I give birth, said Amanda.
So, yes, there will be lots and lots of baby Woolfolk pictures
Oh, it's so pretty.
with the whole collection. I feel like I'm knitting so much faster this time than I knit with Charlie. I was a proficient knitter with Charlie.
Yeah.
But
Deadline?
no, I don't know. I'm just like, because
More
remember,
conference calls? You were doing
You were
different
doing-
kinds of stuff, I think.
that
you
might
were
be
more,
true.
I think that
More into the data and right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that might be
that
true.
happens.
Yeah, because with I made him that onesie,
More
Yeah.
conference calls.
but I remember I feel like it took me a long time to finish a onesie last time,
yeah.
and now it's
Well,
like
You're
it's
making a
also
whole
like-
wardrobe.
I know I'm making a whole freaking wardrobe.
But,
That may
Yeah.
have been, was that your first onesie that you made? Because the construction, now that you know, I feel like once you make something, you kind of know the construction a little bit.
yeah,
That
which is
helps.
why these pants I figured out.
You were able
Not
to
a
like
problem.
do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not my first. It's not my first.
Not your
pants.
first rodeo.
I was gonna say, not your first rodeo, not your first pants.
pants
So many ways.
Not your first baby pants.
And then I'll
Anything
give
else?
you a very quick update on my Atlanticus.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sitting on. So let's see. I said I was going to finish a section per podcast, right?
Right.
Mhm.
And I actually almost got through 2 sections.
What?
Yay.
Overachiever.
I need to. 'Cause,
Deadline knitting.
yeah.
Or crocheting.
Mhm.
So this is
Cool.
my Atlanticus so far, and I'll take another picture of it.
Oh, I
Um,
love.
Yay! It's
So
like
pretty.
a little wavy in the middle, but that's okay.
I really love that.
But yeah, so
That looks really great.
yeah, I did this section here, and I'm almost done. I've got like 2.5 more rows to do this section here. I'm still debating how big to make it. And on knit night, see, I wove in a lot of the ends
Yeah.
on this
Mhm.
outer part. I didn't
Yeah.
get to the inside part, but
It's
yeah.
so nice when
How
you
big
do
is
that
it
as you
now?
go along.
It's
It's over 2 feet.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost
2.5.
36.
Yeah, it looks like about 30 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm debating. I have a thing with gigantic baby blankets, so
As in you like them?
as in I end up making them.
Yeah.
So I mean, you remember the white blanket?
That thing was
Mhm.
huge.
That was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Charlie's
Lots of
blanket. I
different
kept going, and I was always like, just a little more, just a little more, just a little
Yeah.
more. And it's a toddler bed size blanket, right?
But that's great because then
They
they,
can-
keep
they
it
can have it
moving.
forever.
Well, I know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now I'm like, well, can
Might as well
Charlie
just
fit
keep
under
going.
this? Yeah, I might as. I don't know. We'll see. Again, I'm
And
like
we'll
going.
see how
You'll
much time
either
you have,
run out
see
of
how much-
time.
Yeah.
Run out of yarn.
I already bought another 5 skeins of yarn because there's 5 colors of the
Mhm.
cherished
So you have
DK
one of each.
in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had
Oh,
saved. That's my first. That's my sky, so I've got to
Thanks.
have more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I ran out of this light blue first.
I mean, the nice thing about that pattern is that
Oh, thanks.
you can, at this point, kind of stop it whenever.
I can stop
Yeah.
whenever.
Yeah.
So, like,
And
if
what
you
is
just
the
do
what does
it
the
until
edging
the baby
look like?
shows.
What is the
Huh?
the border, right? You were going to do the border?
Yeah, the border
last
is
section.
clue 12. I think I'm on clue 7 right now.
Mhm.
So I might do 7, 8. Maybe I'll see where I am like Thanksgiving. Maybe I'll do 12.
How big is 12? How wide is it?
It's like 5 rows.
Okay.
It's
Not
just a
too big.
scalloped edge. You do a
Uh-huh.
scallop and then you do 2 colors of trim around that scallop.
Mhm. Oh, that sounds
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think I'll just keep going until Thanksgiving and then.
Oh, this is going to be a big blanket.
It's going to be a big
No,
one.
no, no. I mean, but
Just
I've
going to get
got,
through all the 12.
I've got to finish the sweater. I've got to, I've got to finish the 2 sleeves and
Uh-huh.
a hat and another pair of pants. So like,
All right. Ration that time.
It's going to be a big slip.
yeah, I have things to do. No one else is getting anything.
No, they're getting a baby. That's fine.
That's right. That's right.
I'm
All right.
using my Looka hook because I love it.
Oh,
By
yeah.
the way.
Kathleen, what do you have?
So for whips, I have. Well, I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm going to be doing a store sample of the Tannenbaum cowl with Woolfolk Far.
Oh,
And-
this is so pretty.
Yeah.
It's away now.
It's it's over there. Yeah, we cleared the table a little, but I can't wait. And this was
Oh,
so
it's gonna
quick.
look
So
gorgeous.
I
yeah,
have far in my stash.
I might need to make.
I want to make a sweater.
such a great gifting, especially
Yeah.
in this yarn.
I
Actually,
feel like that might be.
Oh, you're
Like that
wearing
too.
nurtured today, Jen.
I am wearing
yeah,
nurtured.
Yeah.
I love nurtured.
That
I might
would-
need to make this.
That would
Again.
be a nice. It's a worsted, right?
It's a worsted.
Yeah,
It's a worsted.
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
could definitely have a far nurtured.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be
Oh.
like?
Do you know
so-
there's one color we already sold out of,
I'm not surprised.
I know.
The
Are
colors
we
are
already sold out?
awesome.
and it's like the dusty sophisticate. It's that
Yes.
kind of pinky peachy.
Oh,
That's the
yes,
one I
that's
have
the one
in
I
my-
was thinking of.
I have that
I
one in my
was
stash.
thinking about so I'll start a card in Trello, so like when we should order 2 bags of that one next time we order.
So pretty.
But
Such a great
this is
colorway.
one of the many beautiful grays. So I think this will be a
I do
really
love a
fun
gray.
store sample.
So
Yeah.
So that is, I almost did the provisional cast on this morning before I came here, but I
I
didn't.
love your bag.
I know, that's such a cute bag.
I made this a while ago. Yeah, this is one of those Japanese knot style bags.
Yeah, I love it.
So
You can just put it
it's
on
good
your
for a
wrist.
little project. It's
Yeah,
good
I
Right.
used it for trick or treating one year.
Uh-huh. I think you did.
Oh, that's a perfect
I
trick
know.
or treat
Because you
bag.
just like tuck it and it won't fall out.
Yeah.
Nothing will fall.
Yeah. So
I won't lose that candy.
so many of my project bags have unfinished projects in them. It's so embarrassing.
You're so good about actually making sure that each project has like a bag.
Yeah.
Well,
As opposed to
otherwise-
mine where I'm like
otherwise it would
jamming
be-
it in.
yeah, I do. And then
Leaving it on the couch and yelling at children.
maybe
not to sit
next
on it.
weekend. Maybe next weekend I'll go through all my half finished and unfinished and finished things, which are in another bin. I have some of those
Oh,
IKEA
yeah.
bins at my house, like we have here in the store.
Yeah.
And
Classic.
yeah,
Okay,
and
keep
like
it.
I do a freezer size Ziploc with the pattern, whatever yarn is left, and all of that. Well, and then but then it needs to like go away, and sometimes the needle's still in there, and that's why I can't find my
You need to,
needles. And
process
I
that.
need to process all that,
Put it
and
all
and
away.
and that's part of the like finishing things on Ravelry too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good.
So
at that. You're very
actually,
good.
I'll I am sometimes good at that. I have not been lately.
You actually do it. At
I
some
do
point.
it. I do it.
I
I
don't.
like to do it.
I don't.
So the other thing that I have, and it's like the mini whips of all time. I have a swatch for my Felix.
I
So-
almost wore the Felix today too, and then I was like, did I wear that the last
I
time?
thought about wearing a Felix today, and then
So how about everyone wear their Felix next time, and maybe I'll
Yeah.
have one.
Yay!
Oh, and Haley won't have one yet, but maybe. Well, you'll have your other one hopefully. Your
Yeah.
other sweater.
My lucky tweed sweater. I should start that.
You should
You
start
should
that.
start that.
Yep. So this is Lucky Tweed in the gold. This was the one we were talking about earlier. With I do have
It's
some.
almost the
This
same.
is the Lucky Tweed color.
Yeah.
It's more mustardy. It's more
Right.
bright and mustardy. But
But I love that it has like little pops of like bluey green. in it.
Yeah,
it's
Like,
really fun.
So
So-
gorgeous. I love
so-
that lucky tweed.
Yeah, it's really nice. And it's interesting. I'm a loose knitter, so I never start with the recommended size. I know to go down. I went down 2 sizes, and as I was working it, I'm like, this looks like it's going to be okay, because I often have to do multiple sizes before I land on the size that I need. But also this pattern specifically is knitted a loose gauge.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
clear
It's
in
very
there
good.
that
So fast.
it's meant to be a little open.
Yeah.
And I know from using Lucky Tweed before, it doesn't grow that much. It tends to more fill in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was exactly what happened. And, try one, got gauge,
Yay.
boom.
Nice.
So using a size 8 needles instead of 10, because that's what works for me.
I think I
And-
used either 8s or 9s.
You probably use 9s. I'm a
I think I
little
might have used
looser than
9s.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used whatever they recommended.
So anyway, we'll see. I've been wanting to start this for a while, and just for various reasons haven't been. But now that I've done my gauge swatch, I can go cast it on later today.
Go cast on and
So
go
I
so
think
quick.
I will. I
Goes
think I will.
So
Exactly.
quick.
Very
So
excited
that
to
is
see
that.
Love that.
And then, but my main whip that I've been doing.
But wait, there's more.
Oh!
There's more, exactly.
There's more.
I loved the headline in this week's newsletter.
Stab!
Jen said, if you've been feeling like stabbing things lately, oh, I have.
Haven't we all?
So I've been working on one of our
love it.
Embroidery Sage embroidery kits. And
Oh.
this is for Haley, who loves
Beautiful.
succulents. So it's really fun. But as I was saying when before
I
we
love
started,
that.
it's like this was like 2 shows of the Queen's Gambit. Like all of that. It's to make those precise little stitches, all aligned beautifully. But it doesn't go quickly, but it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm working along
It
on that,
looks
and I love
gorgeous.
it. Thank you. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good kit.
Oh, yeah. Embroidery is such a good pick up, put down kind of thing. And
Yeah.
yes, you get to stab things.
Exactly.
So
So
And it's a good
satisfying.
travel size.
very
too.
portable.
It is.
Exactly. I put it
Yeah.
in one of my kind of smallish to medium knitting project bags, and it's great. Everything's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, one thing that's so fun about these kits is that you get a hoop for display, but she also gives you a hoop for working.
Which
It's
was
a little
so
bit bigger,
nice when
which
I
is
was like,
so nice.
I
Yeah.
can't find any of my crochet, my embroidery hoops, and then I was like,
But I have that one from the kit.
I have that one from
Yeah.
the kits.
So
That's so
it's
handy.
perfect. And
Yeah.
these are really nice little kits. They are. And
I
this
love
one,
them.
this was only $30, including the 2 hoops, including
Wow.
all the
It's great.
backing.
You get the whole
Everything you need, right?
Yeah, and
It's
the
a
backing.
really good gift.
Is
too,
the needle in
especially-
it
It
too?
is. I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe this came with a
Yeah,
needle.
it comes with a needle.
Yeah. Actually, somebody stopped in. I was working on stuff in the office, but Saysha was, at the register. Somebody bought 3.
Yeah.
These things are like, it is perfect gift stuff. So
it's a perfect gift because also
Yeah.
she has instructions in there of how to do everything.
they're really good
and
instructions,
they're
actually.
very clear.
They're clear, they're detailed. Yeah, I've got the little, yeah.
So even if you've never done it before, if you've never done embroidery before, like it's very straightforward. And honestly, you follow
and she's
the
got
lines.
more tutorials online.
You
Yeah.
follow the lines, and then you're all
Yeah,
good.
I think her instructions are fabulous. They're
really are.
I have other kits and I've done other embroidery kits in my life, and I feel like these are some of the clearest ones I've seen.
And some of them don't
So
come with instructions, and that's cool if you're doing like a freeform thing where you're like, I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do. But if you're starting from scratch and you're like, I don't know, and easily overwhelmed, like.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why I got the sampler, because I haven't really done embroidery before, and I
Yeah.
figured like with the sampler, I can
Yeah.
just practice one stitch at a time, and that's all I'm focusing on right now.
I mean, that's what samplers are for.
Yes,
Right.
Right? That's
Yeah.
exactly what samplers are
but
for.
baby knits have taken it from embroidery.
You have
I'll get back-
priorities.
I'll get back
Yeah.
to that.
Your priorities.
it is interesting. I had ordered another kit that I saw online, and there was one embroidery designer that I really liked the style and everything, so I ordered the kit, and when I was looking at it online, it said it has instructions on all the stitches and everything, and I have embroidered since I was like 10 years old. It's not
Yeah.
like I don't know what I'm doing. I have done it. It's like riding a bicycle. It comes back to you.
Just comes right back.
But when I looked at her instructions, half of the stitches that she used in that particular design were not included.
Oh no!
And it said go to my
Oh.
website for instructions, and I went to the website, and it was exactly what was in the pattern.
Oh.
So
that's a
it's like,
bummer.
that was really disappointing.
So you're like, I don't know how to make the lazy daisy. Show me how to make the lazy daisy.
But anyway, yeah, so you can Google it, but you will not have that problem if you get one of the Embroidery Sage. They are
No, they're
really
really
good.
good. They're
And
really good.
And the patterns themselves are just really sweet.
Are really
so
cute.
Such a good artist.
They're so
yeah.
sweet.
And
They're so
she doesn't
charming.
have a million things, but actually somebody had an idea. I'm going to write to her and suggest possibly a collaboration on something.
Oh, that'd be
Because, no, really, I think that I love it. So,
Kelly!
but actually there's
Oh, wait, no.
there's one more whip.
There's more!
And it's a collaborative whip.
Yay! Oh,
What are
that's
we
the
doing?
perfect transition.
My
Oh,
hair.
right.
I hadn't gotten a haircut since like December.
Wow.
And my lovely person who cuts my hair she's not super local, and she doesn't work at a salon anymore, and so
she's got baby.
and she's got babies and has not been traveling. So I was really getting sick of how hot my hair was making me when I would gather it up in a ponytail and put it on the back of my head. So a couple of days ago,
We watched a YouTube tutorial
and Haley cut my hair.
Oh my god!
Excited.
But it works so well.
It did. It
It
worked
looks
pretty
great.
well. Thank you. Well, the funny thing is, I found an even better tutorial when I sat down at my
Oh
computer
my
again after we
goodness.
cut it.
You're like, if you liked this, now you might
Yeah,
like
we're-
the best one.
Oh,
So, I mean, the interesting thing is, and I feel like it looks better every day. I haven't washed it again
Great.
since. Thank you. I haven't washed it again since I cut it.
Because it's like the layers. It
Yeah.
does like.
But it's still a lot longer in the back than I want. So I think we're gonna increment. And I thought we weren't taking too much off. There wasn't even that much in the garbage can,
Yeah.
but it is a lot lighter.
Yeah,
And I said to Saysha yesterday, I said, did you notice I got my hair cut? She was like, mm-hmm.
Tell us you're saying that. You're like,
So anyway, I told her how it was still a whip, and she's like, okay.
That's so funny. My cousin is doing she got instructions from her colorist how to like take care of her roots. She's blonde and like an icy blonde. And she's like becoming an expert at it now. And like
Cool,
every time I
cool.
see her on Instagram, I'm like, Sophie, you're coloring your hair again. She's like, I've got the foils.
I'm getting my hair cut and colored tomorrow because I need good pictures. when the baby
Yeah,
comes.
there you go.
So,
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
did my own right before kid number 3, and it turned out like carrot orange. And so
no.
all the pictures when she was
No.
born were like,
Ah.
my hair was that color. It was terrible. So now, when I'm like 36 weeks pregnant, I go get my
Treat
hair
yourself one last
Yeah.
time
cut and
before
color.
the baby comes, right?
so
Yeah.
that
My priorities.
everything looks nice,
Good.
and
Yeah.
because we're in a very Facebook world now, and
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
going to be those pictures up
Forever.
Forever.
forever and
For
ever.
a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No longer is it like when there's no pictures of my mom right after she had me
No.
for like weeks.
Mhm. Oh, I can picture a picture of my mom holding me when I'm really, really little.
Aw.
Like, but it's black and white. I think it was
Black
like-
and white, and
that was the
everything looks
time.
better in black
That
and
was
white.
the time when,
you're
yeah,
like
there were
slightly
still
out of focus.
Still
people
green.
in color, still people in black and white, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go upstairs right
Now we
above
have
us.
high resolution.
I know.
2 minutes after the baby's born.
Yeah, exactly.
HD4.
Exactly.
Thanks.
I go upstairs to Tracy at Raven, who is amazing, and I highly recommend her, and I love her. Part of why I love her is that I haven't been in like 2 years. And when I go again, she won't yell at me. Because my hair is way too long. Way too long. I gotta go again.
Yeah. See Tracy, don't do
I gotta go, yeah,
don't
like-
do my video.
Don't do it, yeah.
But we'll keep.
My
working
mom
on this
offered to
little
cut my
video.
hair last time I saw her. She's like, I'll just go get do what I did when you were little and go get the bowl.
No.
And,
Oh my God!
With the hair.
No bowl.
But
no
like,
bowl.
I have very straight hair, so that actually, I mean, the bowl cut was terrible.
I had a bowl
But like,
in the early
bowl.
80s.
the tape and the blunt cut actually works fine. But I was like, no, I want a real person to do it.
Yeah.
I forget the guy who the video I liked. His name was something Mondo. I have to find it.
He's on TikTok. Everyone is
Yeah.
like, Brad Mondo.
Brad Mondo,
How did I
that's
cut
it.
my hair? Like, how did I cut my
Yeah,
hair?
but no, I mean he really. And
When Haley gets really good, if I'm like if I'm still wary of my risk budget, I'll be like,
yeah,
come
no,
to my
we
yard, Haley.
definitely. He did it on. It was like one of those Barbie mannequin heads, but it was like a professional one.
Yeah.
And it came out great. It really did. So I know how we're gonna take off the length on mine now. We are following the Brad Mondo technique.
Catherine did everybody's hair at the beginning, like in June.
Mhm.
Everybody's.
I
Our house.
used to cut your hair because you hated getting your hair cut when you were little. Do you remember
Well,
that?
I'm just so fussy. I'm so
Yes,
problematic.
so fussy.
Yeah, we did take Charlie to the barber because Catherine could not handle it.
Yeah.
He was nuts.
Well, I mean, he's little.
He's two. He's
My cousin was cutting her daughter's hair, her son's hair, her dad's hair, her mom's hair. She
I
was
cut
like,
Jean's hair.
She was killing it across the board.
I cut Jean's
Yeah.
hair most
Her
of the
husband's
time.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to on
anyway,
the needles.
yeah.
Haley, what's
Yeah.
on your needles?
Well, this is a
Or her-
wearable
Oh.
whip.
Yeah, you almost wore
Oh,
this
I
today.
almost
Love
wore
it.
it, but it didn't. It was like an awkward sleeve length at the moment. So
It's
this is it is wearable, and I did. We could take a close up picture of the rib that I did differently from last time. I think I talked about it, but it's been like 2 podcasts since this has been on because freaking school is taking up all my time. But this rib, instead of doing the like Tunisian style where you go perpendicular to
Mhm.
the bottom,
Mhm.
I just did rows. Like I continued doing the rows, and I did
Is it
every
a post?
other. I did a single crochet and then I
Front
think
post?
a back post, but
Okay.
back post single crochet, not double.
Got
So it
I
kind
don't
of
even know what that means, but I kind of know the lingo.
it's
but I don't
just
know
it's
the
just the
concept.
height of a single
I know
crochet.
it.
Now.
Show
So-
off.
So that it's very curly because it hasn't been blocked
hasn't
or
been
anything.
blocked, yeah.
But
What's the pattern?
this
It's the same
is,
as the one she
I'm
had.
wearing.
Oh,
It's
us.
the same.
I was earlier
See
being
how-
like, I love that.
It's the Granite Yoke Tee.
Yes, by Knits and Knots Winnipeg. I
Is
don't
this your
actually know
second
her
or
name.
third
This
one
is
now?
the third because the color blocked one.
Right,
Single
the color
fingering
blocked
is the
one.
same
Yes,
thing.
yes.
I
This one that I have
love
here.
that pooling.
I
Yeah,
know,
love
I
it.
love it.
And we also were saying earlier, I think it was before you got here, Amanda, Haley needs to make one of these for the store.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't you think?
yeah.
Because it's such
Literally
a,
the only time you count
It's
is
such-
like from here to here.
but it's such a
and like
great
that is-
crocheted garment. I mean,
It's
so
a-
often
yeah.
we
it's
have,
so versatile.
we have a hard time when someone, is a crocheter and says, I really want to make a nice sweater for myself.
Yeah.
It's hard. There aren't as many good patterns, and we know now that this one is so good.
Yeah,
because you've
and
made
one
it
of my
multiple
friends from high
times.
school
Did you say it's
literally texted
beginner
me last
friendly?
night. Yeah, definitely. If you know how
Yeah.
to do
Isn't
single
that
crochet
cool?
and chain, you're good.
It's
Yeah, 'cause-
wearable and sophisticated.
Because
Yeah.
you made the tank top,
Yeah.
which I feel
Yeah.
like is not
Mhm.
necessarily
That's
beginner.
not so beginner.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. Because that was like a trust the process one. I was like, in the beginning, I was like, I'm just going to go for it. Like, I don't know if I'm doing
See
this,
what's
but...
going.
But yeah, like, because I was in the pom-pom and I love
Right.
the pom-pom stuff, so... But yeah, this one is super. I just suggested it to my friend from high school yesterday who, she like,
Emily?
she taught herself. How did you know?
Because I know she's one of your.
Yeah, she said she missed coming in and she didn't even know that we had a new store.
Oh,
So
wow.
when
Oh.
she comes, like she said
Yeah,
that the
she's
first
a-
place she comes when she's back in Montclair is here.
Yeah.
And so she said she wants to make a sweater during winter break for herself. So I was like, I have a pattern in mind.
Okay.
So for this, I have white Allegria for the rest of the
Oh,
sleeves
nice.
because
Oh,
it's
that'll be
completing like the
nice.
rainbow. And at home, which it would be too messy to bring, I do have a blue, like a light blue Allegria,
That
and
you can,
like
are you
that
gonna
was
fade to
from
it a
like
little bit at the bottom?
yeah, I
of
Yeah.
was deciding
Like a
between
little blue sky.
yeah, doing like
that's so
mostly white
cute.
and throwing in a couple stitches of blue, and then like maybe having the cuff be mostly blue.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Seeing how that goes, like that'll be. But that's why I haven't been working on this, like because the only time I've been crocheting is doing like phone banking,
Mhm.
and that was why I could get the yarn bomb done, but I can't think. Well, that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's-
Did I
that's a
have
focus.
that in the podcast last time? Your yarn bomb?
Yes.
It was the.
It was
the
not- it
thumbnail,
wasn't-
But
it
it
wasn't
done.
done
But
yet.
we'll throw a picture, and that's
Yes,
also
yeah,
a finished
yeah.
object.
We're gonna.
It was in the
Yeah.
newsletter.
Be a picture.
It was
We're
in the
gonna-
newsletter, that's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
And on Instagram.
We're gonna go right
Which-
after
Here,
this to
yeah.
take a
Which
picture.
yarn is this? This is what? Love is Love?
This top
Knitted
one
with
is
Love is
Love is
Love.
Love knitted with. The middle one is one that my mom got in a giveaway.
Mhm.
That it was Socks That Rock.
Yeah.
Socks
Mhm.
That Rock in another one that's like called Love something, and then this bottom
That
one
was more
is
vacation yarn.
this
From
is-
Chicago.
Yes, from Chicago when we went towards schools. This was Brew City yarns.
Very pretty. I
Don't
love
have
it.
the
I love
colorway on the
the
noggin right now.
the
but
way that the Love is Love pulls at the top.
I know.
Is
It's so cool.
Just
it makes me want to make
gorgeous.
like everything I own in that color.
yes.
Yeah.
It's all rainbow all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All rainbow
Yeah.
all the time.
Yep.
I love it.
So yeah, we'll have to pick which fingering to do, but I think you definitely should do a store sample
Oh,
when you finish.
absolutely.
Such a great garment.
It
Very
looks so
excited.
great. So cool. So cool. Anything else?
Just the yarn bomb, which we'll
Yeah.
put in a picture maybe in the finished objects.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's.
Yep.
mhm,
Well, I'll
yeah.
put it here.
Yes,
If we're
Here.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Just talk
yeah.
about
Talking about it.
Yeah.
It's on a tree, the location. If you've seen it, if you've driven by,
Oh, comment
comment
below.
below if you've seen it in
Totally.
person. Take a picture with
Um,
it, post it.
Scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
So we probably should take it down tomorrow, don't you think? And then you can save it for another time.
Yeah, I want to like wash it, and then if
Either
I
that or
want
you could put a poster up that says "Thanks for vote."
yeah,
E."
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I kind of want to add stars to it, like a little bit of like.
A little zhuzh.
Little
zhuzh.
All right.
All right, on my
Let's see
needles are the
your
same thing that's
whips.
been on my needles for a while. So I have the Mariechen cardigan, which I realized, and I was working on. Oh, and I have my hair on it. There we go. I was working on it the other day, and I realized we're doing a second session of the sweater class. I need to slow my roll so I can
So
use
you
it for
can be-
demonstration purposes,
Yeah.
which is actually really handy because then I don't feel so guilty about not finishing.
So
So
pretty.
this is how far I am, which I'm going to make it slightly cropped. So I'm like I was almost at the point of ribbing.
That's
Not
so
quite.
cool.
I had a couple more lace repeats.
Okay, well then you could just stop now. Do
You can
one
just do
sleeve
your
with this
sleeves. Yeah,
session.
start your
Yeah.
sleeve, right?
Do
And
one
then do
sleeve with
one-
this session, and then I'll finish it up, and
There you go.
we're all good. I mean,
Perfect.
that's what I told the class before. I was like, listen, if you are unsure of your length, go to your sleeves first.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
it's
Try
fine.
it
Get
on.
them
See
done.
what you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get them
exactly.
done. So I have that.
Sleeves are
That's
easy.
in the Rowan felted tweed. I can't remember what color, but the green.
One of the greens.
One of the greens. One of the greens.
Lotus leaf.
Lotus leaf.
Lotus
There we go.
leaf, yeah, Eden's the bluey green.
And then I'm still working on, but I'm almost at the ribbing for this. And
It's
I
a
probably would be at the
Almost at the
ribbing.
ribbing.
I probably would be at the
I love
ribbing if I had not left it upstairs on the third floor, which is why I was like, well, my spinning wheel is downstairs. And
So I can spin.
Oh, yeah.
I'm downstairs, so I'll spin. So it's the summer sorrel, which is going to be a winter sorrel because I'm going to put sleeves on it.
Cool.
That'll be a good weight though for winter.
So
I like a
pretty.
I
fingering.
think so
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And that's why
So
I want
pretty.
this one slightly cropped as well because I feel like I tend to wear my sweaters over dresses.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good length for me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we get so much more wear out of winter
Oh,
sweaters than we
absolutely.
do the short
Yeah.
sleeves. I mean,
Yeah.
I have
I
my
know.
short sleeves bag, but it's still warm. Like if it's above
Yeah.
70.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
how many days do we have that stays between like 55 and
Exactly.
70?
Right,
It's-
exactly.
the
They
morning is
start
different
at
than
40
the
and
rest
they
of
go
the
to
night.
like 75 and then it
Yeah. And especially
Um,
if you're in the store, like running up and down the stairs and stuff with boxes, I a lot of times I'll wear a sweater here, but then I'll bring another shirt to change to if I
Yeah.
get too hot. I usually wind up changing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's why I like my soldatnas because those are good. I can do those on like in the fall.
Yeah.
But once it gets a little bit cold, I want to wear, like I'll wear the linen dress with the
Plus the
pockets.
Soldotna's DK.
And the
which is
Soldotna is DK,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I did one of mine in the Rowan cotton cashmere.
Right,
so
exactly.
It's a little
That's
cooler.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's good for like summer evenings
Yeah.
when you're like a little chilly.
Mhm.
But
I know,
normally
I
I want to
was-
wear like this weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
DK weight.
I
I
wanna
know,
wear that
much
too.
more into the winter sweaters. It's
Yeah.
funny, I made my Tenya, I don't know, a couple of years ago, I guess now, and in Ba La Jolla fingering. And I think I wore that 2 days this year because it's just one of those things, even though it's, it's short sleeved, it's like above the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to make another one that way because there's not enough time to wear it.
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
I am thinking now is I'm just going to make it with long sleeves.
Just make it with long
Perfect.
sleeves.
Yeah.
Because I loved it. I love the lace at the bottom of that, and it's funny. I thought I knew what I wanted to do with it, but now I might be changing my mind because I have migrated from orange to gold, as I have
Oh
said.
no.
You're like, whoa, take
Well,
a left turn.
maybe I'll still do that one in orange, but yeah, I'm just gonna make it with longer sleeves. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make a smaller size and make it with longer sleeves.
Changing the
And-
length of the sleeves, I think, is the easiest.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
You just keep
Thing to
going a
do.
little bit, and
Right.
and they're actually
Just adjust
really
your
fitted
decreases.
sleeves.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. I may just do them straight. I may not
Yeah.
even do.
You could just go.
Because basically, like by the time you get to your elbow,
Mhm.
it's not that much different to your wrist,
No,
and it's like
no.
a nice kind of drape. Maybe I'll make it 3/4.
Yeah.
Bracelet, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do with the summer sorrel is 3/4 sleeve. I mean,
Mhm.
that's what I do with most
I know
of
you're
them.
that's definitely
I like
your preferred
3/4
length.
sleeves.
Yeah. It's
That's
funny.
fine.
I'm usually always cold, so I tend to make like full wrist length or sometimes even longer sleeves.
Yeah.
But I've been getting more into 3/4 lately.
I've got one sleeve left on my Comfort Fade cardi. One sleeve and the shawl collar, and then I'm done. So
The shawl
That shawl
is
collar
a
is yeah.
it doesn't. Well,
But it's
you say
fun.
that, but like the last time I
Squish.
did the Comfort Fade, it was right before Rhinebeck, and I wanted to wear it to Rhinebeck.
Uh-huh.
So I
Right.
finished that shawl collar in like a day and a half.
You
Yeah.
were just like,
But it's garter
it's
too. You just go
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah,
You don't
true,
have to
true.
think
and
about
it's cool and squishy and it has neat shape.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do like a shawl collar.
Yeah.
it. There's a lot of short rows. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
a lot
don't
of short
actually.
rows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're.
The length is not like all the way around
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
Anyway,
So that-
anything else?
I think that's everything.
I think
right?
that's it. Well, thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it, and let's hope the future does well for us.
Everyone,
Future
take
will
care
be-
of yourselves today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Knock wood.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
in the future, hope
Take.
you
We hope you took
Every
care of
day.
yourselves several days
yes,
ago,
Yes.
And every day.
And still
And every
today when
day.
you watch
Every day.
this.
and every day going forward. And in the meantime, follow us on Instagram. Shop Yarnia, Facebook as Yarnia LLC. Don't forget to check out our website, shopyarnia.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter, which gets sent out once a week.
Yep.
That's where we're announcing classes and all kinds of new stuff in
Stop and
store.
start.
We are doing more classes, so keep an eye out for that. That's the best place to look, but we also
Absolutely.
post them on Facebook.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, and like and subscribe, and don't forget to click the alarm bell because Amanda,
You'll get news soon.
you'll get news. So thank you so much, guys. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Hi, and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, special edition with our guest, Saysha Greene.
Hi.
Insatiable Knits on Ravelry, Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook,
Mhm.
Insatiable Knits on all of those. On Ravelry, I think it's just Insatiable.
Right, Insatiable.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to have you here on the podcast
Thanks for
again.
having me.
I remember we had you, once, probably 6 months ago, maybe longer, when we were kind of going around and doing all of Yarnia's employees one by one.
Yep.
But we're here today to celebrate the release of Saysha's new pattern, which she is wearing.
Which I guess
Yeah, go
stand
ahead.
up would be a little bit easier. I don't know
Yep.
if it's in camera or not.
It is. Maybe come down a little bit. Just, drop down a little. Beautiful. So this is
Whispering Willow.
Yeah.
Whispering-
Willow singular.
Yes.
Cool.
Whispering Willow.
Whispering Willow. And it is a beautiful brioche shawl pattern that I can't wait to make. And this was a yarn collaboration with
With Bien Amy.
which is
Which
fabulous.
is Bien Amy is in Paris, France, and she had put out a post, I don't know, maybe like a couple months ago, maybe more than a couple months ago.
3-4 months ago.
Yeah, just talking about, designers that are interested in yarn support or collaboration.
Nice.
And I had already in my mind thought that I wanted to do kind of a shawl version of Willow Moon, because there are people out there who just don't like cowls. They don't like something that's fixed around their neck. They want to be able to easily remove it.
Right, exactly.
Also, Willow Moon is in DK weight, and I thought like a fingering weight
I'm going to go ahead and hold this up. So Willow Moon is, when was this one released, Saysha? A year ago
I
or
should
so?
know these things.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's
probably
okay.
about a year ago.
Yeah.
It's probably exactly a year ago. The cowl was released, and it's a
beautiful and
DK weight
squishy.
cowl.
Yep.
But it is, it is around your neck, and if you are the type of person that is not comfortable with,
some people
fabric,
just get warm, like it's funny because Saysha not only works in the store with us, but also teaches classes here and is our brioche expert and a fabulous brioche teacher. I was not much of a briocher before. I took Saysha's classes, and so she did, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 series of Willow Moon last winter. Well, we did, that's right, you did the brioche hat, which this is the solstice beanie, right?
Yep.
So Saysha taught a class on this, which I and a bunch of people took, and everyone came away with beautiful hats. I can go ahead and put mine on.
Yeah, and the solstice is kind of, to me, like was our bridge class to being able to do this. So it taught all the techniques and stitches that are required to do the cowl, which obviously is going to take a little bit longer. So it was like the bridge project right in the middle, just to kind of learn all the various increases and decreases that one could do in brioche, and then feel comfortable with that in order to do either do this cowl or any other more complicated brioche project. So
exactly, and we definitely should look at getting another series of beginning brioche, intermediate brioche, doing the hat, and then more advanced brioche, so Willow Moon cowl, or I mean it's the same. It's pretty much the same thing, right? Because it's you've got the beautiful branching willow pattern that is on both.
It is, yeah. I mean,
the thing I think is so interesting. It looks so simple, but it's so beautiful, and it's not super easy. I mean, you definitely need to know be confident. You need to be a confident briocher to do this.
Exactly.
But it's so worth it because it is beautiful. And right before we started, I did do Saysha's class, and as we often, for this as well as the hat, as often happens, we get part of the way into a project. I think I wound up having to miss one of the classes for one reason, never quite caught back up, and I've done a little bit more on the project, but I haven't finished it. But what I'm thinking about is doing the shawl, because I'm wearing a shawl today. I wear a shawl 3 or 4 days a week.
You wear shawls a lot.
I wear a shawl or a sweater, any day that it's like fall or winter, or even well into spring, I'll have a shawl or a sweater on. I am one of those people less likely to wear a cowl. So I'll be one of your testers
my
for
test
the
subject for DK weight version of Whispering Willow, which like we were talking about, it's definitely doable in any weight, because you can, even in fingering weight, I offer the option for people to do fewer branches. So if you are a person of smaller stature and you don't want a shawl that's really big, you can do fewer branches, which essentially just gets you a smaller shawl.
Smaller triangle.
So you could probably do the same, fewer branches with a DK weight, and get a very nice, probably similar size shawl.
So I'm excited about that, because I know I'll get a lot of wear out of the shawl, and I love I didn't bring that one with me today, but I love how it looks. But I think that's one of the reasons that I haven't kind of brought it back to the front of the pile, is because I don't really wear cowls that much.
Yeah.
And especially these days, it's like we're not, I'm in the car to go to the store for 5 minutes, and I'm not kind of out and about as much, certainly not going out to parties and things like that.
Exactly.
So we're
around
actually,
the house.
I might wear something like that with, a turtleneck and a skirt or something. So I think
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
All right, good. I will get on that.
Yes.
So
and over these past few weeks also, the BIPOC make-along has been happening. So I've been posting some of my other patterns.
Yes.
With discounts, just so that people can kind of see what else is in my Ravelry store, and I see that you have made the Tannenbaum cowl.
I thought this was so beautiful when I saw this pattern that you posted about. Just really, to me, this is like the perfect gift knit. It really, really is, because it's something you can. It looks beautiful. Number one, right? It's garter, and you got some increases, you got some stockinette, and then decreases back to your garter, which it just makes such a beautiful rippling pattern. It's reminiscent of tiny tea leaves. I did that for Haley once. There's a kid's cardigan that's got a little bit of detail at the top that I loved, and when I saw this I was like, oh yeah, I remember that kind of stitch. It's really fun, but to me, I love this version of it.
And it's it's just knits and purls and increases and decreases. So
it's really it's really approachable for even just an advanced beginner. It's not it probably wouldn't be your second project, but if you're at all even an advanced beginner, it's totally doable. And I think I did this in a week, probably 3 or 4 nights of TV watching. It's great TV watching knitting. Yeah. But I could see, who wouldn't love to get this as a gift for the holidays, right?
I know I would.
Yeah.
And I'll show you
let's see.
This is a DK version. Mm-hmm. That is.
This is DK too, but I think it's a heavy really? DK. Okay. It definitely feels more like a worsted.
So they're both DK, but. Mm-hmm. I did this one thinner, fewer stitches, and longer. It's been worn a lot, so it probably looks worn. But that just allows you, if you like the
double wrap
type of a situation going.
It's so pretty.
Then there's so many options. You can make it just a tube like this. Mm-hmm. Or you can make it longer and thinner, and then wrap it around twice, like this one. Mm-hmm. And that was nice because
right up by your neck, like I would
really close
that's
up.
True
nice.
Too.
And if you wanted to, you could.
If it's really cold, just pop it right over your nose.
I love that.
I love that. Yeah, I really, really like this. And this was some yarn I got on vacation, and it's like it was one of those I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I said it's the perfect kind of one skein for a cowl or something. And then when I saw your pattern, I was like, okay. Got that. It is so funny the way sometimes something comes into your stash for like a month and then it goes back out. And sometimes we have deep stash that's been there for years, right?
Oh gosh.
No, but I was so happy to find, to see your pattern on Instagram and say, okay, that is the perfect thing to use.
I'm looking forward to actually making a few myself, maybe for the holiday season. So.
Yeah. And actually yesterday I started one as a store sample.
Yay.
Yeah, so this is in Woolfolk Far, and I think I may redo it with a little bit bigger needle. I think I'm a really loose knitter, which those who watch the podcast have heard me say pretty much every episode.
Yes, exactly.
So I forget what size I did this on. I don't know. I can't see what size exactly this is, but I definitely knit like a couple of sizes down from the recommended needle size for whatever yarn I'm using, and because this is technically a worsted Woolfolk Far, and the yarn I was using was like a heavy DK, I said, I'll go ahead and use the same needle. But I feel like it
could use a little
more
openness.
Yeah. And this, I was watching the election returns last night. But it's like I should have just stopped, and I really could have told after the first section how much shorter it was. It's funny, the garter is about the same. The garter is not too different. Yeah. But anyway, so I will probably undo this and do it on, go up a needle size or 2.
What needle size are you using?
Looks like it might be a 5, I'm guessing. Okay. Which, again, like most people would probably use a 7 or an 8. So that's sort of my standard, default how much I go down. But this will be a nice store sample. I'm excited to have a copy of this in the store for people to see.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think it. I could see it being one of our really popular holiday gift patterns this year, because we do have people come in all the time and say, I'm ready to make gifts, or I need a 1 skein project or a 2 skein project, and this is
this would be a good one.
A very nice one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. Cool. So, what else would you like to show us?
So, some other things that I have, had on my Instagram feed recently because of the BIPOC Make-Along is my Boglan Fini, which stands for mud cloth, ear warmer or headband. I don't know, It's both.
It's
an
the
ear
same
warmer,
thing.
it's a headband, it's whatever you want it to be.
I almost think it's a generational thing, whether people call it an ear warmer or a headband. I really do.
Probably. So I kind of go back and forth between the two. But it's
so
also
to
me a very good pattern for like a quick gift.
Yeah. Pretty.
It's basically just Fair Isle,
How sweet.
but it's it's reversible Fair Isle.
Wow.
And fully reversible. And I know that I've seen that before where you do like a purl row and you can, flip
Have
it over
be your
and
turn
reverse.
edge, your turning row, yeah.
And in this case, I played
You did
around with I-cord.
I love it.
And did like a little I-cord transition, which is a combination. You start with a provisional cast on.
Mm-hmm.
You knit whatever motif you want. Hopefully it's this motif. But you knit whatever motif you want, and then you do what I think in the pattern I refer to as like an I-cord transition, which is a bind off and cast on combo.
Wow.
And then you knit the motif for the second side, and then you bind off with I-cord, but in a special way that makes it fully reversible, so that you don't see any. To pick up the stitch from the first side.
I love your attention to detail. Your patterns always have beautiful finishes.
And it took a while to figure that one out, but it did
totally
work
worth it. It's beautiful.
We
definitely will have to get Amanda to put some close-ups of that edge in there because it is. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, you could even, if you like both motifs, you could even wear it with the I-cord.
Halfway.
Like halfway through. I mean, it is 100% reversible.
Yeah.
That you should not be able to tell the inside from the outside.
Mm-hmm. And I love that you've chosen different motifs for your inside on these. This is just your simple, alternating rows of each color, so nice fine stripes, and you've got like a tiger print on this one.
Yeah, so my daughter plays lacrosse, and in our town they're called the Tigers.
Oh, cool.
And she's always cold, so I
love it.
And she's got a lot of hair, so a hat is definitely not the thing. So I did one with the tigers, a tiger paw, tigers, and then I mapped out.
I love it.
A tiger stripes. I think I might have put this chart actually on my project page as well. If somebody else is interested in doing a tiger print, they could just use my chart, and
nice.
You literally could do whatever you want. Because even inside the pattern, there's a blank chart too.
Cool.
So
very nice.
You can, do snowflakes or trees or sheep or whatever strikes you.
Yeah, I love the idea of getting like 2 for 1. And because sometimes, and even like you might start the day feeling one way and end the day feeling another.
Exactly.
So sorry, remind us of what the name of the pattern is again.
So this is called Bogolanfini, which stands for mudcloth. I love mudcloth, and I just wanted to try and figure out a way to kind of pay homage to that. So that's
very
what
nice.
That one is. And so that's
excellent.
The colors of this one is obviously closer, but I think this is also kind of a fun,
fun take on it.
Even like for Halloween, that would be fun.
Right, absolutely.
You could put like bats and
oh my goodness,
pumpkins, or if you have fall, you could put squirrels and acorns. I mean, you literally could do whatever you want.
Yep, very nice. And this is fingering weight, right?
And this is fingering weight. Both of these are knit with a single ply yarn, but I think not a light fingering. I would like not do it with a light fingering. I would go with something that has
a little more body,
a little bit more body to it, just because it'll be smaller. I mean, if your intent is to make something that is for a smaller head, then maybe that might work. But like an adult size head, you'd want to go with something with a little bit more body.
Very nice. All right.
Yes.
What else did you bring to show us?
What else? So my very first design was this hat, which is called the brioche waffle beanie, and that was a couple of years ago. And a lot of, and maybe this is how things start with a lot of people who end up designing stuff is you want something.
Yes. You look for it, you cannot find it.
You look for it, you want something.
Been there.
And then you sit down and figure out how to do it yourself. Is basically what it comes down to.
Yep.
And, I was playing around with, I wanted a certain effect, this kind of squishy, waffly looking fabric. And, I kept trying a lot of different things. And it's funny, I finally ended up with what I wanted, which was what's in this hat. And after the fact, found out that the stitch is called a half brioche. So I had not, I didn't even know anything about a half brioche stitch up until that point.
Don't know how to do it. Right
and it is still slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-row repeat. I think with the half brioche, I think it's a 2-row repeat. So it is still slightly different because, of course, I didn't know what it was that I was doing at the time. It's just that it gave me the effect that I was looking for.
Right.
Cool. And
were you already
really like
doing a fair amount of brioche when you did this, or
No,
you were just playing around to kind of?
Yeah,
cool.
and that was
this your gateway brioche?
It was my gateway. It was
cool.
Because after
Very
I
nice.
did this hat, I signed up for a test knit for Katrin Schubert, Katerina on Instagram, and I love her patterns so much. And it was for a shawl, and it was not like like a very simple shawl. I mean, it had a lot of increases and decreases and different colors, and that was like my second project was a test knit for her. And from there, I absolutely love working in brioche. I think that's probably pretty obvious, but
no, definitely yeah.
It was kind of my
Brioche
gateway,
master.
like you said.
Cool. It's funny. I've been looking for a hat to make for my husband, and I think I'm going to do this one because I think this is great.
It's
I think it's good
definitely
for men or
unisex.
women. Yep, for kids or adults. Yeah, especially teens. I could see any teen loving this hat.
Yeah.
So
and when I
brioche
had
waffle
smaller
beanie.
hair, when I had because the other thing with brioche is it pretty much takes the shape of whatever. So if you have big hair, it's very stretchy. So I mean, like the one good thing about it is that one size is very forgiving, so it can fit like a multitude of different head sizes. But also, it will take on.
If you have a lot of hair, you'll fill it. Yeah,
you'll fill it up, and maybe if that's the look that you're going for, then that's all good. But I definitely, liked the way that
when it was more kind of sleek to your head.
And a sleeker look, shorter look. So. But this is, I definitely love this pattern. This was another easy one, I think.
Yeah.
But that's just, my opinion. I think it's a good introduction to brioche because you are not dealing with multiple colors. Even though sometimes that can be
it can
a
sort
little
of be
bit
helpful
harder.
in a way.
The different colors actually is helpful because you can kind of distinguish.
You always know what's
if you've got your yarn over and so
or your
forth.
regular stitch.
But it is a good introduction because it teaches you the slip one yarn over stitch and the brioche knit stitch, and so you're really only focused on that
those aspects.
And it's just it's not throughout. So it's like 1 out of 3 rows you're dealing with the slip one yarn over and a brioche knit.
Right.
So
great. And that's available in Ravelry,
and
right?
this is also available on Ravelry. So all of these are available on both Ravelry and Etsy. I know that a lot of designers are putting their patterns on like Payhip. And I know that Lovecraft also is a good option. At the moment, I only have mine in those 2 places, which hopefully is varied enough that people can find a way to get it.
To get what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. All right. I pulled another one from our store samples here that you designed. This is the Urchin, right?
It is.
You want to tell us about that one?
Yeah. So this one, I don't even remember how it came about. Oh, I was knitting another pattern, and I can't remember what it was, and I made a mistake. And then I'm like, oh, I kind of like that.
Great
I like the way that it looks.
Sometimes come from mistakes. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what does that remind me of? What does that? And I'm like looking and looking and looking, and
It's
and then
totally
eventually I'm like, that reminds me of an urchin, like the shell or whatever it's called, and so that's why I called it that. And I thought, well, it was just a happy mistake. So it is a free pattern in my Ravelry store. I don't have it on Etsy. I don't know that it's worth it to put it on Etsy as a free pattern.
Maybe put it up for a couple of dollars on Etsy. Like if somebody really wants to do Etsy versus Ravelry,
Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. So it is free on Ravelry. It's fun, another easy one. It's using super bulky yarn.
Yep.
I did use 2 skeins, not quite all of the second skein. You do just kind of break into it. You have to use a little bit in order to finish closing off the top, but you do have enough left over that you could use it to make like an ear warmer, which which is good. So you get like a kind of 2-for-1 with 2 balls. You can get a hat plus another small gift.
And another good gift thing.
Exactly.
Actually, I have I don't know if I forget what my cable. I did a cable headband in that yarn as well that I did for a class, and it was just people were like, oh, you should put that pattern on Ravelry. So you might be able to get both of them out of that. That would be, we could post that. We'll post it on Instagram as a combo
we'll have
if it
to
works.
try. Exactly, we'll have to give it a try.
Yep. So so Saysha did this. This is a store sample. I think I said. So this is in Sugarbrush Chill, which is one of our super bulkies, and I think this. Color,
I love the
when
color.
You saw
it's perfect.
It's perfect for it. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
This could be sitting on the beach somewhere, right?
It could be.
So all right. So that's great. And are you what do you have on your? I know we've talked a little bit in the store. You're always working on some new designs.
Yeah, I am, and like 3 out of 4 are ones that I can't.
You can't really
show
talk about.
anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so between like now and January, I will be working on these 4 designs. I am working on one that I can show.
Great.
I haven't gotten very far on it except to do a little bitty swatch. And the difficult part of it is, like, I don't want to like cut the yarn and like have my swatches set aside because I think I might need to use the yarn.
Right.
And so that makes it a little bit slower because I can only work from one of 2 ends to try out whatever pattern idea that I'm thinking about. So this yarn is from Glen Heaven. I think I'm pronouncing it properly. Glen Heaven Knits in Australia.
Oh, cool.
And
ooh,
and this
that is pretty. What is that?
So my inspiration, or the what I kind of came to mind when I saw the colors that she sent was, these African woven baskets.
Yes.
Woven wall hangings. And on my feed, I actually show kind of a mood board for what I'm envisioning for it, and what I would like to do is like. A half pie shawl that looks like that woven
That's such a great
basket.
Idea. Yeah.
So of course I'm trying to think of what stitches kind of bring to mind that sort of thing. And this one I thought was really cool, and it's very hard to show, but we can show a picture or close up of it. It really to me looks like basketry or something that is woven.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. Like the colors. It's the perfect combo, but the colors, you really get that effect.
It is.
Wow.
And so, now it's just a matter of trying out different stitches and figuring out what's going to go where in the
in the half pie.
in the half pie. So
cool.
I'm, still kind of in early stages of figuring out what stitches to use, but that one hopefully will come soon.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, and that's really the only one that I'm able to. The other ones will happen. Will happen at some point, and we'll be able to we'll be able to show them.
Cool. When do you do most of your design work? Do you do it like on the days you're not at Yarnia, or do you?
I do them on the days that I'm not here. So I'm here 3 days a week now. And so the other days of the week is
Tuesday, Thursday, and the weekend. Basically,
exactly.
You get to.
And then sometimes I just feel like, I turn everything off and I don't want to do anything. But I do when I have a deadline. Like, to me, that's the kind of thing that pushes me.
Oh,
if I don't have a deadline for something, it will take forever. Maybe never get done.
Yeah.
And so
I am there with you.
and that doesn't leave a lot.
It's a lot easier when you have a deadline sometimes.
Absolutely.
Because it's like that external force pushing you to do something. Yeah.
It doesn't leave a lot of time for like other
social
knitting.
Enjoyable knitting, just like your own fun knitting. But
although I have started now this practice, I was going back and forth with someone on Instagram about sock knitting, and I've always wanted to have like a sock wardrobe. I know that sock knitting is not really your thing,
and I tried. Haley and I tried this summer.
I have seen it.
We tried, and I was really feeling guilty the other day because Halloween came and went over the weekend, and I thought that the fact that I was using Halloween yarn would be enough to push me to finish them.
I know. Well, I started a Halloween one, and I was hoping that would be like maybe a week or so before Halloween, and I was hoping that would be like a good push to try to get a pair out, but it didn't work. But there's always 2021.
And you know what, I may just, I don't know, like we were talking about, like the election, the votes are being counted right now. Maybe I think a lot of us have been very fixated on everything leading up to the election, and now that, you know, hopefully, well, you know, that it's out of our hands.
It will be, yeah.
We'll just, you know, there's kind of nothing any of us can really do right now, and we'll just kind of get on to, you know, life.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm hoping to always have like a pair of socks cast on, so that when I get into that kind of funk where I don't really know what to do,
you don't know what you want to do,
yeah, you know, or I'm like frustrated with something, I can just like
go to that and
go
get a little,
to it and get a little progress, and I just always,
yes,
and then if I need something to quickly pick up because I'm going to be waiting, you know, online.
Exactly, because you know, except for certain parts, yeah, if you're on the tube of the foot or the tube of the, you know, the tube of the leg. Yes. You can do it anywhere. You can, you know, and that is one reason I'm kind of trying to get back to it. I mean, yeah, a lot of people associated with the store always have got socks on the go, and I know it's such a good thing. So maybe once I get past my heels, I'll do that too. But yeah,
we'll both have a pair of Halloween socks. 2021.
Oh, for sure, 2020.
Make a pact.
Maybe even by the end of this year, right?
I hope so.
I kind of feel like sometimes if I don't do it like within a certain amount of time, then it really goes on the back burner. So I think whether Haley continues with me or not, I should finish these socks.
You should.
Really
we'll have to push each other.
Definitely. All right. Well, this has been so nice.
It has been. Thank you for having me on again.
Absolutely.
Today.
Happy to. And so check out all of Saysha's patterns on Ravelry and Etsy. Follow Insatiable Knits on Instagram, Insatiable on Ravelry, and Insatiable Knits on Facebook as well, right? Great.
And stop in the store and say hi if you're in New Jersey.
Absolutely. New Jersey, New York, yeah, we're really easy to get to from Manhattan. So, you know, literally the train station's about a block away. If anyone's up for taking New Jersey Transit, which I think is not too crowded these days. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. Thank you, Saysha, for being with us, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye.